Okay, let's see. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it'll do. Alright. Let's see. I'm waiting. Please Project Moon release the kit. Limbus Company. I'm waiting for this moment since the start of the season, and it is so beautiful. Hold on. Salutations. Man feels green. Huh. Yeah, just give me a moment here. Oh, yeah, the music is intentionally loud. You're barely supposed to be hearing me over this. That is fine. So let's see, the reality of things is supposed to be a bit closer to this, I guess. One second here, I might tone that down just a little bit more as well. There we go. Got a couple of decibels off. But yes, the moment the kit arrives, just message, just spam. You know the deal at this point. And then we'll take a look. Same goes with any patch notes, because inevitably there is going to be Railway 6 patch notes. For the time being, though, we have been stuck in this same fucking cycle of days in LobCorp, endlessly. It is specifically days 35 to day 40. It is currently day 40, and I'm about to hit the reset to memory repository again. Because we lost 5 agents in the last midnight ordeal. And losing 5 agents worth of firepower means we are not going to be able to take out the red mist, so to speak. So when does the kit drop? The kit either drops in a bit less than half an hour, a bit more than an hour, or around an hour, or on the half hours thereafter. Normally we will get the patch notes first, and then we will get the kit afterwards. So we will see, but anyhow, I am going to go ahead and reset this day. We are rewinding back to the memory repository. Now, due to some of the choices that I've made, we should probably clear all of Bino's missions, at least so we can get the decent research off. Anyhow, I am going to need to re-equip everyone all over again, because stuff is messy once again. Let's see. That means going to the ego list and fucking around and finding out. So give me just a bit here. Unfortunately, most of these agents have lost a lot of stats or don't have quite as much stats as they otherwise would have. We spent way too long training them up only to erase all of their stats afterwards. On the bright side, most of them are back alive again, compared to when they were dead earlier. Okay, we do have 10 pieces of Aleph gear at least, so we can clear the Bina mission on the day. Anyhow. Let me go figure out who needs what training, and then we can get started more or less. Sleepy, Guaka, Chesed, Brab, Everett, Say Hi, Aki, and Dragon. Say Hi, Aki, Dragon normally just handle this lower part of the department. Hey, Articus is alive again. Olga's alive again. Kaya can go downstairs. Oh, Everett's alive. Got Everett, kick the bucket. John Welch's, Stem Cell, Yuri. Zaf. Oh, Zaf's trained up now. Okay. Kura still needs that justice training. Lone Fighter is also trained up. So let's move you down departments. See, we can do fortitude training up here thanks to Funny Helper. Erwin's fine. Bahamut we're going to move you over there. And we'll take... Okay, these two need the training the most. You also need the training. John Welchers, we are not allowed to move. Yuri, we can move down there. You need prudence training, so you're fine here. You need justice training. You need justice and fortitude. And everyone else should more or less be fine where they currently are. Okay, let's gear some people up. Aleph gear, Dragon sits with Mimicry. Aki sits with Justicia. Sleepy gets to have the Capo. I do need to get Sleepy the ego gift at some point, but working with the Capo is painful enough as it is. Olga can have Smile. Unfortunately, I am missing the weapon for Mountain of Smiling Bodies, but we'll get there, we'll get there. Articus, I don't think your stats are... No, your stats are good enough to equip stuff. Okay, but let's give you some WoW instead. Give you the Amita setup. Specifically then Say Hi, which is Sound of a Star. Baka, you wanted fast melee weapons if possible, so toss you Moonlight. Actually, no. You can get the Sword Sharpened with Tears this time. Stabbity stabbity. Chesed, just get the Diffraction. Actually, no, you can go back to Lamp even, yeah. Okay, almost all of the lower layer equipped. Let's give you... You know what, you can take the Amita suits. Does Moonlight not have... Huh. Or does Amita not have a... No, it does have a weapon. We're missing the Moonlight suit in comparison. Unless that's a different... No, it should be. Huh. Everett's... I think Everett specifically asked for, like, red gear. I don't know. Let's just give you the more thematic stuff. You get your Cherry Blossoms. Lone Fighter. Let's give you something at least half decent. Let's see, that's mostly that layer. Kaya needs gear as well. Gear good enough to handle the bottom layer on their own. Honestly, just give yourself a magic bullet. You do not have the funny shooty man there to be able to get yourself the smoking pipe. John Welchers, you died last time. However, thankfully for you, plenty of soda to go around. Joshua, this time we'll throw you the grinder weapons. Harmony, I guess. Yeah, why not? I don't have Harmony's suit unless Harmony just doesn't have a suit. I don't think it does. Not from memory, at least. Letitia gets Letitia wear. Simple as. Kura. Let's see. Do I have any good gear left for you? I have some very unfortunate looking gear left for you. Zaf, you're specifically Daredevil. Daredevil, Crumbling Armor, yep. Yuri, for some reason, wants to regret at least the person that asked for a Yuri to be thrown into the facility. Erwin, so your stats were up there, so let's see if we can get you something decent. Screaming Wedge is pretty good. Login suit, we'll have to do it. Yeah, login suit will do. And stem cell, throw on the grinder gear, I guess. Yeah, it'll do. I think that's everyone at least geared up. Must be past day 37 to do Red Mist Core Suppression. Oh boy. But yeah, we'll work our way back upwards and through a couple of missions just so that we can get through. I think for Bina's department, we do need to level up the department as we go. So we'll be spamming Abnos into these slots first. Well, tomorrow's the kit drop. Today's Monday, mate. Today is the kit drop. Unless you're about to tell me that today is Sunday and I'm a complete day early. No, today's Monday. Today's Monday. We're good. Let's see. You needed prudence training. You needed justice. You needed justice. A lot of people should be in the safety team just getting justice training. Oh, Bahamut, we need to give you some gear. So you can have a gun back, but not a friendly fire gun this time. For your crimes last time, we are going to put you in some ugly looking gear. Okay. Now there's only one thing in this facility that's particularly annoying to deal with, and it's this motherfucker here. Kaya, I'm going to keep there until that triggers, basically. Inside can be handled by Say Hi. Repression can be handled by Aki. Dragon sits around. Actually, I could give Dragon... Actually, no. Dragon would kill themselves if they do attachment work. Unfortunately. Attachment for Olga. Articus claims a ticket. Yes, there has been that many fucking uses on that bloody ticket. All-round helper. Zaf needs the instinct training. Do any of you need the attachment training? No, I should have bought someone who does need the attachment training. Ah, that's fine. We can train Prudence. See, you're fine on it. Letitia needs it. Let's work with the bird. You claim a ticket. We just need to pass these days relatively peacefully. Relatively peacefully. Let's see. Baka needs to handle that. The rest of you are quite solid on your stats. But yes, things will be perfectly healthy today. Perfectly fine. Guess if I want to pass the day a little quicker, I can get someone working here. You know what? Frab, go ahead. Need to remember, tickets will keep showing up. Did not want... There are a lot of things that are terrifying when they breach, but thankfully mostly inert as long as you leave them alone. At least in this facility. Then there's this thing where if you leave it alone too long, then it just fucks over the whole facility. And just for sport at that. Leaf off meltdown. What are we dealing with? Thank you, Sleepy, for being the one bold person currently. Is it? That was it? That's the only thing that wanted to melt down. Okay. Easy days. Easy days. Let's see. Someone go work with Punishing Bird. Articus, you're up again. Olga for nothing there, and I think we're fine. This is going to be a very easy day. Amber Dawn. Very, very easy day. Hey. Hey, King. Welcome, 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 welcome. You managed to catch a stream. I really should throw you in at some point into this facility, into this doom grinder. It's not too bad. There's welfare benefits, kind of. No, there is no welfare benefits. The one the one in the room next to me just immediately piped up and went, there's welfare benefit? No, there isn't. Let's see. Mr. John Welchers, you may die doing this, but we can replace you, Mr. John Welchers, unfortunately. Therefore, go pick up the bracelet and keep using it. I almost heard a train coming. Oh god. That would have been a different kind of fatal on its own. But yeah, thankfully this facility basically handles itself. The only problem is this motherfucker who has now been clicked over 700 times. God, I hate it here. At least this specific thing. Up. Okay, let's see. Kaya can handle this layer on their own. Is Augur still under Netzach? No, Augur is currently under... Augur is currently now under Gebera. But yeah, most of these guys should be able to handle this easily at this point. If they can't, that'd be a little concerning. John Welchers isn't moving anymore. I'm sure their death was in the best interest. That is fine. John Welchers has sacrificed themselves for the cause. So that we now know what the Luminous Bracelet does. John Welchers, your death will not be forgotten. Yes, nice. Oi, 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 stem cell. The job isn't done yet. You know, now that I'm thinking of it, in Limbus, when they decided to add those funny guys as an encounter, it does make sense now why guns ended up being the weakness. These guys can't hit shit with melee weapons. Oh yeah, Luminous Bracelets. Reckon its constant heal needs you to take damage at least. Else it kills you, yeah, basically. How much did you read of Text RP yesterday? Let's see. Not all of it. Anything after about 6 AM Australian time, I did not get to read. Otherwise, there was quite a lot there, Chief. There was quite a lot there. I think the last thing I remember was discussion about why X character, or why a certain character does not have what it takes to become a colored fixer. That's what I remember of the text RP. Oh, we have Noon to deal with as well. Of course we do. When the clerks are good enough to handle. Hey, good job. Did it all come down to skill issue? No, not skill issue. The proposed reason was instead mindset issue. Quote-unquote colors do not come into being. Or you do not become a color because you want to be a color. So to speak. Oh shit, Guaca. You got yourself both a hat and a helmet. I still need to give Guaca most of their attack speed buffs back. They need to come back up here and work with the crumbling armor. Let's see. 7 minutes. Maybe the kit will drop. If not, it will drop in another half hour. Something along those lines, anyway. Yeah, it'll be one of the two. Kim Ji-hoon's mostly pushed it back to 7:30 these days, at least Aussie hours. At least that's what I end up with most of the time. So not 100% sure. But typically speaking, it'll be within the hour. It all depends largely on how much stuff there is to release. So they may show off Railway patch notes first, then we gotta wait another half hour until we then get to see the ID patch notes. Or the ID notes, rather. Reminder, if in doubt, do instinct work. Instinct work will usually get you killed. Usually 11 AM or 11:30 AM GMT +1, it's quite convenient. Yeah, it's alright. And I'm like GMT +10, so it's its own kind of screaming. In Korean time, it's like right pretty much as dinner is happening. Yeah. In Korean time. I'm pretty sure I don't have too many people that are like red damage weak at this point, so most of them should be able to fight off the robots, worst come to worst, but we will see. Alright, how many of the cunts spawned? I don't know if Olga can solo this, but Olga can try. The guys in this department can 100% solo that. The guys in this department should be able to solo that. Everett might be in a bit of trouble. The guys in this department should be able to handle this. Jesus, but what happened here? Oh god, okay. Stay in your department rooms, probably, yeah. We'll handle the lower layer suppressions first. Punishing Bird is broken out, so that's fine. Dragon destroys this. Yeah, this kill team destroys everything, basically. Let's see, manager. Yes, yes indeed, manager. Do you have a friend from New Zealand that his time zone be a complete 12 hours ahead of you? Christ. Yet to beat a midnight ordeal, they require a whole lot of coordination. I keep trying to have all my clerks survive. So yesterday's midnight ordeal, it was not purple, it was the amber one, and we had 5 clerks die, but we consider that a success. Because I'm no stranger to just rewinding this particular set of days at this point. Oh wow, Olga handled theirs perfectly fine on their own. Kaya's probably find to handle theirs. Oh, yeah, you guys did fine. Wow. Okay. Right, you guys can probably manage that then. A bit worried for Everett, but Everett's okay. Okay, you lot might have it a bit more troublesome. You guys have a bit more trouble than I was giving you guys credit for. Let me kite you guys back. Make sure you're all healthy. Oh yeah, God of Delusion is bad. They baited you into a corner, dropped a sanity nuke on your clerk, suffers the same mountain of smiling bodies in the facility wasn't the best idea. Good lord. That is not a fun time, or does not sound like a fun time. Okay, there's one more in the facility somewhere. What is that, stem cell? Purpose of instinct work is to merely keep them in physical form. Alamau. See, I'll just send the kill squad upstairs. Aleph kill squad. Well, since no one's dead, I think we're fine. No one of import is dead. That is to say. Rip Clerk. Died with his shield on. And no one else gives a shit. There we go. Zaf, get that instinct trained. Wow, we have a lot of PE boxes with censored now. Huh. It's actually really useful having that many. Articus, go grab that. The Punishing Bird wandered a really long distance away. Fucker, go handle that. Handle Pokebus. Handle nothing there. I reckon we go up at least a decent bit until we eventually... Oh, railway notes dropped? Okay. 1 second then, 1 second then. Let me go find those. Okay, let's see. New Refraction Railway. New content, Refraction Railway Line 6. Greetings, dear manager, blah 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 blah. Clear main story chapter 9. Composed of 5 total sections. Okay, that's a lot. And it will end with the start of Refraction Railway Line 7, so they plan to do a Line 7. The rewards you have not claimed, blah blah blah, will be delivered to your inbox, etc. Will be open after completing main story chapter 9 and accessed via the drive menu. As long as Line 6 is active, it can be accessed anytime without spending any resources. Line 6 will close upon the opening of Line 7, so we are going to lose Line 5 by the look of it. Recommended upgrade levels, yeah, it's the usual. Be uptime 4, be level 60, Fred spin 4. One of these days, eventually, on like, who knows, maybe Line 10, it's going to be like, oh, yeah, Fred spin 5, recommend. Nah, it shouldn't be that bad. Let's see, clearing section will record your clear count or turn clear count. With it, total turn count will also be saved. Turn total sum, blah, 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 from section 1. Sum of all clear turn counts from each section from 1 to your current section. Okay, so it's pretty much standard fare, standard fare. Any remaining ego resources after the section can be used in the subsequent section. That's normal. Save for section 5. Entering a new section revives all defeated allies, fully heals all wounded identities, and resets SP to 0. Eh? Wait, I looked like Shifty. Shifty who is the question. That's the first I'm hearing. Because the one Shifty that I do know and I've exchanged business cards with is an iris artist. Or an artist that draws a lot of iris. Nikkei Shifty. Oh, okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. During an expedition, you can start over, blah, blah, blah. Resources will be reverted to that point. So it's of normal, or it's as usual. Section 5, blah, blah, blah. HP, percentage SP, point of clearing section 1. Huh? Eh? Wait. In line 6, the HP percentage and SP at the points of clearing section 1 will be carried over to section 5. Okay, that's a lot more specific. I thought it was going to reset every section. One sec. Yeah, it says save for section 5. Huh. So section 1 is completed by the same team that will clear section 5, specifically. Okay. Okay, that's very funky. In sections 3 and 4, you will be unable to use identities assigned in the team loadout used in the immediately preceding sections. Okay, so there's a lockout in section 2. Well, section 2 you can bring whoever. Section 3 is locked out of ones you bought for section 2, and section 4 is locked out for section 3 only, but is open for section 2. Okay, so this is like classic. Okay, if you've ever played Kantai Collection or have heard of the horrors of Kantai Collection events, this is shiplocking. So it's a lot more merciful sounding, at the very least, considering multiple sections get to use multiple stuff. The only difference is this time around we have 5 different sections instead of 3 sections. They experimented with this in Railway 5, but now they're making it a staple, I suppose. We do chain battles. You have to deploy 12 sinners. You cannot under-deploy by the sound of it, yeah. Which is a bit annoying for certain strategies and certain bugs. What? 10 it is. 10 is it? Yeah, what? Identities whose skill coin types change depending on their blah, blah, blah. Okay, so Sun Shower, one who grips, yep. For identities whose skill coin types change depending on their SP, the bonus starting SP will be applied based on their usable skills at point of substitution. So both the magical girls will start positive, unfortunately. From the image preview, seems to be Yinlong, Scissors Girl, Hohenheim, Di Hui Star, and can't tell the other two. Yeah, we'll see. If starting SP's negative numbers, you will not fall below minus 40. Oh, God. What is all those glasses showing up? Has it already released? No, the second part hasn't released yet. Okay. When an identity is killed, you will obtain... Anyone else hear the ASMR in the back? No, I guess it isn't picking up. But I can hear the fucking Forsaken Murderer in my ear. Because we're like hovering close to Forsaken Murderer. They're just up there. Oh, I forgot to transition it over so you guys could read along. Okay. When an ally identity is killed, you obtain ego resources corresponding, blah, blah, blah. Every battle in the Refraction Railway will allow you to directly match ally skills against enemy skills, just like in focused encounters. Yeah, that is fine. Chain battles, that's normal. Wow, there's 8 pages of this notes. Forfeit or retry. If all of your allies are defeated, you can choose between returning to team loadouts or immediately retrying from wave 1. Okay, so this is going to be a little more annoying to specifically get the new Roshu perfectly functioning, but that is fine. After clearing a stage for the first time. Yep. Is there no... You don't have to clear it within a certain number of turns. At least for each section by the look of it. Where's the kit, bro? Let's see. Either in another 20 minutes or... Either another 20 minutes or another 50 minutes. Oh, okay. There we go. Clear line 6 with less than blah 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 turns. It's for the banner specifically. Okay. Here you can view the acquisition conditions, blah blah blah. Highest turn count that can be recorded in each section is 100 turns. If your turn count goes beyond 100 turns in a single stage, it will be considered a defeat. Hang on, I need to ping someone in my Discord with this. Specifically. One sec. Sonic, are you listening in? Sonic, you cannot make a video about the new railway. That's because they are the fella that are doing, like maximum turn count stuff. Yeah, Sonic, just read what's on screen right now. Highest turn count. Cannot. Yes. Yes, indeed. Anyhow. But yeah, Sonic's been doing funny videos that are pretty much, let's see, check the turn count, see how far you can go. What the fuck happens when you go too many turn counts? Yeah, for specific story-related stuff. That's been Sonic. Now, Sonic, do you want to do 100 or like go up to 99 turns for every single railway encounter to see what the fuck happens? Or get the longest recorded run? Or are you not that masochistic? Anyway, apart from that, yes, you can view your clear info. Oh, they're making these a little easier to check, huh? Travel collection, clear turn ranks, blah, blah, blah. Up to 20 records can be saved. Date of completion, etc. More detailed information for each run can be viewed there. Okay. Nothing special will happen. Yes. Nothing special will happen. It will just be pain. Not ever going to do highest turn railway, ever. Yeah. Spare yourself it. Okay. So that is currently all we're getting from patch notes. It'll be another 20 minutes until we see another one. If another one pops up before 20 more minutes, do let me know. I will flick over to it. Nice Yoshimi PFP. Hey, Lamau. Is it going to be hard or easy? We don't know yet. That's simple as. We do not know yet. But okay, one sec. We are going back to LobCorp. We're going back to LobCorp. Hopefully we can at least finish a day or two. Without things going like horrifically wrong. This day has been postponed so long at this point, the music stopped and had to restart just then. Also, Punishing Bird, please come back. Please come back. I need your insight training. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Get back in there. Let's see. Might be Nursefathers together for section 4, though can't tell what other two enemies are for it. Maybe Envy Pecatula. My guess is rather than strictly doing the Nursefather fights again, because most of those are already in Mirror Dungeon as secret bosses, and the original versions of the fights already require you to tag along with a color or equivalent, basically. I reckon they will just make it so that you fight the Envy Pecatula over the full team, and you have Arya Ryoshu to just rock up and kill all of them, basically. And because of the way Aryashu's passives work, she will not be the first one to die. She will indeed be the last one to die, and that is a problem. Because as a fight, that sounds like it will be turbo hell. Especially if they decide to do it that way instead of doing it the way you would expect, basically. What if it's the End Corp fight from Canto 8, but instead of sticking goons, it's Envy Pekatula? They could do that too. They could do that too, considering that, yeah, you would shove in Gubo or you would shove in Ryoshu and Yisang. They could actually make the fight interesting instead of kind of trashy. Let's see, specifically Letitia, we needed training, insight. You know, what do you even do instinct-wise while dealing with all-around helper? One has to wonder. Because instinct work is not necessarily getting violent with the thing, but it's getting physical with the thing. So what if you're just using it for its intended purpose of, like, cleaning or whatever the bloody hell? Anyhow, we're not going to go too aggressive. We're not going to go too aggressive with the training of these employees because they are likely going to get reset. So let's just keep going. I'm sorry, John Welcheers. You died so that we could get an observation log. Okay, for the 80 plus people sitting around currently and listening in, I need you to pick an abnormality. Currently, we have lying around, the city still remained a beautiful place where the emerald roads sparkled bright as ever. Hang on, let me just adjust the screen so you can see these guys a little better. Then we have, the snow is steadily melting, perhaps because spring is coming, or it might be the palace collapsing. And last is, if you feel an abdominal pain and a tingling sensation in your neck, the best thing you can do now is look at the great blue sky you'll never get to see again. Baba Yaga. Yo, what? So, if you'd like to vote on what Abno gets to be shoved in the facility, then 1, 2, or 3. 1 for Emerald Roads, 2 for steadily melting snow, and abdominal pain for 3. New patch is out. Hang on. Okay. Scheduled update notice and patch. Okay, hang on a second then. Free is safer, trust, I see. Hang on then. Let me quickly take a look through these patch notes. They should be less significant in comparison. You get to hear patch notes with some creepy music this time, I guess. Let's say, greetings dear manager, your scheduled update notice. Scheduled update will include an upgrade of the Unity and... Oh, okay. Middle Nursefather Outis, Ishmael. Let's see, Refraction Railway 6, more stuff to buy. Announcer preset function. Okay. We can mess around with announcers. So for those who like customizing their stuff, yeah. Bit of quality of life. We get 4th Match Flame, Yisang. Bug fixes. There's quite a lot of bug fixes going on. That's the SP related one. Assist defense related. Blah, blah, blah. Butterfly, Corpus Theater. Butterfly, no external effects can raise the amount of butterfly inflicted. Inflict additional sinking effect, inflict additional sinking instead of additional butterfly. Okay, so there's some weird stuff that wasn't functioning properly. It's mostly assist attack related. Some bug fixes in addition. End of all evil would not activate if the quad characters are included in backup units. Okay. 300 Lunacy. Let's see, when are they going to add ID resets so you can turn your level 50 Talisman Sinclair back to level 1? Oh. Oh, you missed out on the free reset. Unfortunate. Let's see. As for the Unity one, let's see. Resource downloads will be required once the engine update is deployed. Additionally, minimum supported OS requirements will be raised. Okay, if you are running on a brick, then you will not be able to run on a brick anymore, unfortunately. Let's see, they are upgrading it on, yep, on the patch. Compatibility with latest, blah, blah, blah. Compatibility has improved for PC environments and newer smartphone operating systems. So this is like, probably for like Windows 11, basically. Yeah, this would be for Windows 11. To prevent account loss, managers who are playing with a guest account on any of the systems below are required to link to Google, Apple, or Steam. So if you're playing on an Android 8, an iOS 13, or a Windows 10 Service Pack, let's say version 21H2, then yeah. All brick Samsung, iPhone, Toyota 2000 users will cry, yeah. Graphics API and performance, Unity 6 will help more.
Rip okay. iPhone 7 users?
I guess, yeah, it's probably iPhone 7 that's getting ripped. Yeah, for those who need to re-download stuff, my fellow Australians out there with slow internet, I'm sorry, you have to re-download 14 gigabytes roughly.
How many people out of the 102 here have
shitty net?
Well, shitty net number 1 and a literal brick of an iPhone 7.
Who knows, who knows. But yeah, anything running iOS lower than iOS 13 is screwed. Anything running Android 8 or lower than 8 is screwed. You just downloaded FF14. My condolences. Why would you do that to yourself? Anyhow, let me go quickly check if there's any more patch notes to be concerned with. Currently, no more patch notes to be concerned with. We're probably only going to get through like the opening sections of this day before we then need to go ahead. Also, a lot of you just straight up voted for number 3 on this abno, so I guess we're getting... I do recognize this number. Oi, hang on. This is just the B, isn't it?
I would like to correct. It was not ripped to the iPhone 7. It was ripped to the iPhone 4.
Oh, iPhone 4 can no longer play Limbus. iPhone 7 can play Limbus. That's funny. Because blah blah blah. AT is actual character, not random anime woman. Limau.
It is OC.
Yes, it's just one of my OCs. Also, we are going to keep expanding the extraction team rather than moving things to the record team so that we can get more missions completed. Because the extraction team, I think we need to move to a certain level or get it to a certain level of expansion before they give us the next mission, even though we just completed a mission. Oh, yeah. By implementing reversible extraction process. Oh, we can re-roll the abno selection. Thank fuck. Okay. This is an abno we have not touched before, so kind of fuck around and find out, I guess. Oh, right. John Welchers died. 1 second here. John Welchers Verka. There we go. Welcome back, John Welchers. It's like you never left.
I'll be back. Shower and
okay. And once this is done. Hi. But yes, do not mind, John Welchers. You are alive again. Also, I am going to need a volunteer from the audience once again. Who wishes to go into the grinder?
Have you had a...
You do not wish to be in the grinder, mate. Don't touch me, is here. Don't touch him. The thing is, when I started stream yesterday, I did end up touching the funny button. I did touch the funny button and it broke the screen multiple times, so don't mind it, don't mind it. Touch the funny button. Do you? You can take it? Okay. Okay, King, you're going in. Let's see, customize, King. Do you have preferred appearance at all, or am I just going to randomize this until it works? I am just going to randomize this till it works, I guess. Okay, and in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to do you the favor of clicking one more time. You do not wish to be bold. 3, 2, 1. There you go. Okay. Okay, you have like 2 sets of eyebrows. This is mildly concerning, but it'll do. Welcome aboard, King. Let me see what gear I can give you. Alright. Let's see. Let's give you a funny white suit at the very least. And let's see. Any solid weapons I can hand to you. Actually, you know what? Instead of the white suit, let's give the man the gaze gear. There you go. You have become a German man in a box. What does it say? Hi. You just had an evil idea. You've had many evil ideas recently. Literally Sinclair. Yeah, become Sinclair. You'll DM me? Okay, okay. Alright. We don't need to complete a mission, so to speak. We just need to upgrade department to level 4, so we are taking it easy. Yeah, we are taking it easy. Unless we want to do a core suppression, and I don't think I want to do a core suppression. Fucking hell. I already chased you out of this facility 3 times now. The funny magical girl, so no. Get back out. Get back out. Don't want to deal with managing clerks. Stay away. Okay. I know I did a video on this motherfucker. The funny bee. The only problem is I don't remember what work the bee was supposed to be done with. It is probably instinct work though. Can you make a nugget called Bad Tom? But why? I don't know, King. You might be dying here. Okay, yep. Size more and more drones they'll bring posterity to the kingdom. Or prosperity to the kingdom. You did okay, King. You're alive. That's a start. First day on the job, stung by bees. I don't know, mate. Let's see. Instinct work is okay. Attachment work is okay. Insight will probably get you killed is my guess. Okay, and it's a wow, so we'll handle it on the next wraparound. For now, let's get ourselves some energy so that we have a buffer at least. Mm-hmm.
So, we have red pepper power. It expires 5 months ago.
Oh. Oh, sweet Jesus.
I get rid of it.
Yes. Okay. Odds are, in about 3 minutes, the rest of the kit is about to come out. Odds are. Everyone's prudence can get a level up, honestly. Let's get someone working on the box as well. Why not? Think Malkoff or Hod has to sign up on names like Specimen 872 is funny to you. Yes. King, get in there. Go handle the bees again. Did anything melt down? Okay, just the dreaming current. Okay, that's easy. Oh, Violet Dawn. Even easier. And you took that happily. Yes, apparently you did take that happily. Look at you, King. You're working quite well, if nothing else. When is the kit? The kit is potentially in 1 minute. Oh. Oh, wait. Insight's the best? I don't know, Chief. When the work result was normal, the cleave-off lowered with a normal probability. Oh, no. 3, 2, 1. Oh, fuck. That's a problem. It's here. You can say that about multiple things that have just happened. Okay. 1 second then, 1 second then. Let me just let this disaster play out. $5 million skills, oh god. You'll live, King. You'll live. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are fine. Oh. Oh, the bee went the other. Oh, sweet Jesus. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we are. We'll handle that problem another time. So hang on. Okay. It's all purple. Christ, it's all purple. Where's the rest of the kit, though? PM? Where's the passives? Oh, there we go. 3 pages. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, sweet Jesus. How many passives is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 passives. Fuck. That's a start. All right. Middle Outis, if you read, here we go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let me crack open my lemon tea. With them googly eyes. I forget if I still have a googly eyes asset on VTube Studio. One sec. I don't know if I currently have it. I do not currently have it.
Models.
No, I already checked. Ain't there.
You want your googly?
Nah, I'm good. Alright. Let's see then. Smell of blood and fire. This unit is considered an identity that inflicts burn and bleed. If this unit's sword has first seal removed or second seal removed, skills that inflict bleed are considered skills that inflict both burn and bleed. Okay. Sealed Sword, Levantine. Upon entering the encounter for the first time, gain Sealed Sword. When each seal is removed from the sword, gain Rising Fever, corresponding to Unsealing Stage. When the following conditions are met, lose Rising Fever. Upon using the Stamp of Vengeance skill, lose stack, including Stamp of Vengeance activation via counter. Okay. So we've got some kind of engine mechanic already. At X plus sum of NV resin, lose stack at turn end. So what do we need Rising Fever for? Hang on. Rising Fever. At X stack, use time to unpack skill. Okay, so Rising Fever to unseal, and then it ticks downwards so that we remove another seal and so on and so forth. Okay. At X Rising Fever stack, use time to unpack as an unopposed skill at skill end. At turn end at X Rising Fever stack, and if this unit failed to use time to unpack in that turn, use time to unpack at next combat start. While this unit has Sealed Sword at less than X% HP, use time to unpack regardless of Rising Fever stack. Okay. Also, hang on. I am just going to mute Lobcorp and bring up some music. Or some other music. So, 1 second here. Let's see. Lobcorp, muted. Go into my random folder of OSTs that I have sitting around. Ahem, let's see. Yeah, this is probably most appropriate. Yeah, this is by far the most appropriate. Okay. At X% minus HP, gain, or X% or lower HP, gain Ridiculous Grits. Ridiculous Grit in this case is fix any attack type resistances that exceed normal to normal. Take less blah 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 % damage from skills. On Clash Win, heal an additional Clash count plus blah 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 SP. Turn end, if this unit lost SP due to its skill effects, deal more damage next turn using base skills. At turn end, lose a stack. Okay, so this is a kind of a panic button. Kind of a panic button. When staggered for the first time in this encounter, recover stagger at turn end and gain the middle grudge. Turn start at X of the middle grudge, replace a base skill on this unit's dashboard with Stamp of Vengeance or Complete and Total Extermination. Applies only on the skill on the leftmost slot's bottom row on the dashboard. This effect does not activate if either Stamp of Vengeance or Complete and Total Extermination is already in the slot, so we are cheating out fucking skills. Fan-fucking-tastic. If the House of and then Parenting. If the House of Spiders middle apprentice Ishmael is on the field, activate the following. On Clash Win, gain Check This Out, Kiddo. If this was on the first skill this unit used in this turn, gain additional Check This Out, Kiddo. So this is an Outis where you have to clash, rather than an Outis where you go unopposed. Check This Out, Kiddo is additional final power and additional blunt damage. Let's see. On hit using a skill, gain check this out kiddo as well. If you use it with cracked coins, you will not get it. Effects apply only to House of Spiders, Middle Apprentice Ishmael. When Ishmael wins a clash, Ishmael gains I Got Praised. If it was the first skill Ishmael used, gain additional I Got Praised. On hit using Ishmael's skill, Ishmael gains I Got Praised. If skill that hits was skill free, activated as a counter, gain additional I Got Praised. Does not gain I Get Praised from... I got praised from using cracked coins. Okay. I got praised in this case. Let's see. It is additional final power and more blunt damage. This is really good with counter skills. You think she might be good? She's going to be fucking overloaded is what she's going to be. Psyche, the middle. If the encounter begins while this unit is already defeated, or if this unit is defeated during the encounter, Blade of the House of Spiders Yoshu gains the following effects. Gain entanglements, take less damage. When hits, gain offense level up. Oh wait, this is more entanglement. Well, this is more entanglement in like a free battery, essentially. That is like shockingly good, basically. Since entanglement is Roshu's entire engine, getting bonus entanglement before you can pull off any of her big moves is like pretty damn good. Anyhow, when this unit has... Well, thanks kiddo. When this unit has Levantine... Oh wait, right. This is supposed to be the Psyche bonus as well. So take less damage and when hit, gain offense level. Pretty okay. You want another potential man or woman? I think she's probably going to be too easy to use depending on how hard it is to get the sword seals. Or sword unsealed. When this unit has Levantine, when an ally that has less than X% HP loses a clash against an enemy, use Good Girl. Your sacrifice for the family won't be forgotten. Skill that targets said enemy as the main target and said ally as the sub-target. Huh? Oh my god. Okay, this is just... This is better friendly fire. This is just more friendly fire. Fuck it. The House of Spiders... Let's see. Middle Apprentice Ishmael has Y% HP conditional instead of X%. You can likely kill faster. If this skill killed an ally in the middle, gain envy damage up next turn. If it killed the House of Spiders Middle Apprentice, gain avenging my family next turn. Huh. Whose fault is that? Avenging my family. Let's see. There we go. Envy-based skills deal more damage. Base skills gain final power. That is stupid. Going beyond there. So the passive that you do need to work towards. Vengeance mark on X enemies that dealt the most skill damage to an ally. Book of Vengeance House of Spiders on X enemies that dealt the most skill damage to this unit. Combat start, gain the middle grudge for envy resin. The middle grudge in this case being, let's see. Middle grudge, deal more damage. That's pretty vanilla. Yes, it is a team killing race between Outis and Roshu, and that is pretty funny. Turn end, apply Vengeance Mark on X enemies that dealt the most skill damage to an ally. Right, we've just read that. Okay. If the following conditions are met during the combat phase, gain the middle grudge when this unit is hit by someone else. When the House of Spiders Middle Apprentice is hit by another unit's skill. If the following conditions are met during the combat phase, gain the middle grudge. This unit and the House of Spiders Apprentice Ishmael getting hits do not count towards either conditional below, however. When a middle ally is hit by another skill, when the House of Spiders ally is hit by another unit's skill. Okay, so they're exempt from that, but they are counted by the one above. It's probably a specific amount of grudge on both. There's probably more grudge, less grudge. My god, Encore P-Sung just came in with the chair. Yeah, steel chair. They're really on the nose with her canto. Pretty much, yeah. When this unit gains the middle grudge, if the target has Vengeance Mark, gain an additional stack. Yep. Gain the middle Vengeance Tattoo Great Sister every time this unit consumes X the middle grudge. And effect only applies to Ishmael. When House of Spider's middle Nursefather is hit by another unit's skill, Ishmael gains the middle grudge as well. And as for the support passive, Someone Messed with the Family. Combat starts. Allies that equipped counter skills gain damage up, protection. If the ally is in the middle, they gain envy damage up and protection instead. Okay, so if for whatever reason you need to pack them up into the backfield, they are still very good in a middle team, so to speak. Okay, for the other stuff we missed. Middle Vengeance Tattoo is final power. Envy skills and blunt skills deal more damage. For the specific Book of Vengeance, against units that have this effect, for Ishmael and Outis, SP on hits. For on hit using a skill. On hit using a skill against middle Nursefather, we gain grudge, and more grudge for Ishmael expires at turn end. Okay, yeah, as expected. And for all the seals, let's see. Sealed Sword. Or the regular Sealed Sword is blunt skills deal more damage for every bleed. Final coin hit is Y% of the final damage as blunt, so we get an echo. The first seal, we get haste, blah, blah, blah. Blunt skills deal more damage for burn and bleed now. Okay, yep, burn and bleed for the echo. Still haste, burn and bleed on target, burn and bleed slash damage now instead for the echo. And for Levantine, when it actually comes out, inflict burn on all units on the field. All units. This includes our units. Are we entering GBF arc now? Not yet. Not yet. For GBF, you need multiple sources of bonus damage alongside double strike, triple strike, additional strike. That's the level GBF currently is for normal attack builds. Replace this unit's base skills with Levantine exclusive skills corresponding to each skill's ranks. Blunt-based skills deal more damage for every burn and bleed on targets. On final coin hit using base skills, if you have burn and bleed, you echo as pierce damage now. So you go from echoing blunt damage, echoing slash damage, to finally echoing as pierce damage. That's pretty whack. Okay. So we've covered those two. Let's take a look at the actual skills. It's all fucking purple. I wanted a pride skill in there somewhere. It's all fucking purple instead. God fucking damn it. Let's see, stomping. If this blah blah blah. Okay, every single one is just gonna have the one line. If Levantine activate the 2 version instead. There's a skill 3-4. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, she has no pride apparently. That kind of sucks in our case. Okay. Gain coin power for every burn and bleed on targets. So that's probably going to be up to 2 coin power. If this unit has Levantine, I'll activate blah blah blah. If it has middle Vengeance Tattoo, convert the second coin into Unbreakable. And heal SP on use. Second coin being Unbreakable does matter in this case because it is middle Vengeance Tattoo or Bind. But anyhow, it is bleed counts, stagger threshold raise so raise your own stagger threshold, and inflict bleed. So you are becoming harder to stagger. This is not the Wait, no, this is... Oh, okay. I got it mixed up because Ricardo's one is lower your stagger threshold, which means you make it harder for yourself to stagger. This one is the Tremor one. This one is the raising stagger threshold. So counts, stagger threshold, then bleed, and bind. Bind is quite useful. Next is don't let something like this break you. Burn bleed on targets. offense level on highest resin, convert skill coins equal to blah 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 based on unbreakables beginning with coin 3. So we can get more than one Vengeance Tattoo, Great Sister, crossed out. If the sword is at first seal or second seal, inflict burn by base amount of bleed inflicted, otherwise gain aggro. It is bleed, bind, bleed, paralyze, bleed, and then blunt damage echo. So remember, with all of the seals, there is already an echo. This means everything here is a double fucking echo. Or rather, this thing and the next thing is... No, it's skill 2 specifically, is a double echo. Fucking hell. Let's see, with this, you don't want to see people say that the bus crew is not considered Star of the City level strength anymore. Buddy, we have... we already have an Udjat. Udjat's a Star of the City. We're already in Fafo territory. We're in fuck around and find out territory already, and that is Star of the City. We've had FUM IDs already. Like, fuck's sake. Anyway. Stamp of Vengeance, the normal skill free. So this is the skill that we can cheat out. We cheat this out specifically, let's see here. We cheat this out specifically with, where is it? Blah, 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 blah. Not time to unpack. Was there a cheat out? Pretty sure there was a cheat out somewhere. Hang on. Because yeah, there was one which was convert. Ah, here we are. Add X to the middle grudge, replace it with Stamp of Vengeance or complete and total extermination. So yeah, by stacking up the middle grudge, so getting yourself hit. When getting yourself hit, especially by someone who has already hit you and has the Vengeance mark, stack up more of the middle grudge. And then you'll get to use Stamp of Vengeance for free. Guess you're rolling for Outis? Say hi. If you're rolling for Outis, please add her to your... Say hi. Please add this to your support lineup so I can just borrow it instead. My lunacy is dead in the water. This ID is bricked not because it team kills, but because you can't reuse the counter. Bricked and dead on release. What the fuck, funds? Ask Artie. We'll see. We'll see. Anyhow, Stamp of Vengeance. Final power. Gain coin power based on A resin. Oh god. Skill gains offense level, highest resin. Gain final power for every middle Vengeance tattoo. Convert this coin's skills coins equal to blah 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 to unbreakables, starting with the third one. If the fourth one is already. If it is already unsealed, we do burn based on bleed. Consume all middle grudge on self, so this is how we consume it. We need to consume it to then be able to gain more Vengeance tattoos. If this skill is activated as a counter, it gains blunt damage up next turn. So, bleed, bleed count, bleed, bleed count. Kinda shitty, at least in terms of coins. Raw power looks like it's going to be stupid high. These coins are not fancy by any stretch of the imagination. However, complete and total extermination needs looks fancy as fuck. So we will get there soon. Now, time to unpack on the other hand. So this is the one that gets used for free, specifically when we get to a certain amount of Rising Fever. So time to unpack. If this unit has middle Vengeance tattoo, Great Sister, deal slash damage equal to blah blah blah. Each coin's final damage. So this is an echo on every single coin. What the fuck? You've got almost all IDs. We'll put your friend code in a minute. I've got everything already. It's just the new stuff because I don't have the lunacy to always roll for everything. Is the thing. Imagine Elder Brother. Elder Brother still feels like a figure of speech. It might not be an actual thing just yet. It comes up in exactly one line in Ricardo Heathcliff's thing, and that's it. So I'm still going under the assumption that Elder Brother is not an actual rank and is just a term, especially because they did not capitalize it. ID stronger than the original? Hard to say right now, but potentially yes. The thing is, most IDs will eventually eclipse the original just on the sheer scaling of level alone, basically. That's just how the cookie crumbles. You can't go telling me that a random Section 6 from like the 7 Association is going to be as strong as that same version of the Sinner, but like level 100 is the thing. That would seem a little too ridiculous, you know? Anyhow, for time to unpack, we remove a seal from the sword, burn, bleed, stagger threshold raisure, NV fragility. And reminder, this activates either combat start or end of turn. Level scaling in the big 26. I know. The thing is, they've made it more consistent at this point. So it's less of like, oh, funny gimmick. It's more of a actual, oh, here's your scaling, at least as of Canto 9. If you go before, say, Canto 6 or before, then the scaling starts looking very funny and looking really weird. South Section 6 Sinclair, after being injected with HGH anabolic steroids and fed exclusively on a diet of EXP tickets. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty fucking much. Okay. Let's go over the Levantine stuff. So all of the rest is Levantine exclusive, including the murder your kid. I'm just saying, be horrified for disposal. Ailamau. Alright, oh, got you like a fish. Levantine exclusive skill, coin power. Based on burn and bleed. Both coins are unbreakable. Gains offense level equal to highest resin divided by X. If this unit has middle vengeance tattoo, Great Sister, inflict additional bleed on coin hits. Gain burn equal to the number of coins in this skill, lose SP. So we are burning ourselves down. Hey Oro, welcome. Anyhow, first coin is bleed counts, raise stagger threshold. Second coin is burn and burn counts. If this unit has middle vengeance tattoo, bind and paralyze. Okay, this thing is stupid. However, depending on how long it takes for us to raise and remove, or let's say, kill off rising fever. So down here, depending on how much it takes for us to remove rising fever, and yeah, unpack. It's worded kind of weird. We need to get to a certain amount of rising fever each time. However, we cannot keep spamming it because rising fever, blah blah blah. Okay, this is really annoying. Okay, we need to lower rising fever by using certain things, then use unpack. At least that's how that should read. And it's likely going to be a pretty hefty stack of things. Anyhow. Beyond there, Gut Stab Levantine. This one is 5 unbreakable coins because you've fucked around and found out for quite a few turns at this point. It is Burn and Bleed for final power. Offense level increases based on highest resin, aggro. You are lighting yourself on fire still with more burn, equal to the number of coins in this skill. That is funny though. It's 2 burn here, it's 5 burn here. Gut Stab and it's burn. Here's the thing, once you get to Levantine though, everything echoes Pierce. So there is Pierce in there, it's just afterwards it echoes Pierce. After attack and we lose SP, but we are going to gain SP back anyway through various different means in this kit. God, this is a ridiculous amount to take in just to make this function. Like, it covers... All of this covers all of the bases to make the rest of this work, but it is so stupid how many loops and hurdles they need to go through. Anyhow. Moving along, this is burn, bleed count, bind, and paralysis. The coins themselves seem to be pretty vanilla on a couple of these skills, but that's because you then have to load up all of this extra bullshit. Which is like, yeah, it is really a lot of extra bullshit. Programmers and PM are crying. Yes, they are crying. Any programmer would want to cry with this many fucking conditionals lying around. At the very least, this is a turn-based game rather than like real-time or action. Anyhow, for the skill 3-2, 5 coiner again. Levantine exclusive. And final power. Deal more damage, both of those based on burn and bleed. If this unit gains offense level, equal to highest resin. If this unit has middle vengeance tattoo, great sister, gain coin power. If it has the same, inflict bleed potency on coin hits. This is so they don't have to rewrite it and say now that you're doing burn, you can now do bleed. Instead of you're doing bleed, you can do burn now. Anyway. Gain burn equal to the number of coins in this skill. Lose SP. Consume all middle grudge on self. If this skill is activated as a counter skill, gain blunt damage up next turn. Inflict burn and earn counts. Inflict bleed. Do a / damage echo equal to burn on target or burn on target plus bleed on target times blah 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 percent of the coin's final damage. Next one, bleed count. More / damage echo. And the last one, pierce damage echo, blunt damage echo. And you know what? From the fucking passive, you are doing another pierce damage echo. Fuck me sideways, I guess. This is 4 damage echoes. Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the passive. That is stupid. Why? Just why? Oh, right, yeah. Rule violation, blah, blah, blah. Okay, X sum of envy resin. You get to use Stamp of Vengeance or complete and total extermination instead as a counter. You will gain X% of missing HP as shield, that's fine. And you will lower the user's stagger threshold. Okay, so that's where we get to the less stagger. You'll now be investing in... Do you think the middle has a big bully culture since they can't really hurt each other? Maybe they can hurt each other. It's just that expect that if you hurt another bro, you are going to get hunted down by the bros. So it's more authoritative, so to speak. Anyhow, to slice Ishmael in half, let's see. Good girl, your sacrifice for the family won't be forgotten. Target fixed. External effects cannot trigger this skill to be reused, and this skill does not trigger defense skills. Fantastic. You cannot double tap this, basically, is what they're saying. Okay. Gain final power for burn and bleed on the main target. Reminder, main target is the enemy, sub-target is the ally. Main target is the enemy, sub-target is the ally. Yep. That's what it should be. Yep. Main target, ally is the sub-target. Gain final power and deal more damage for middle vengeance tattoos on self. If the House of Spiders middle apprentice is among the targets, we deal more damage. So there's reasons to slime out Ishmael, basically. Consume all of the grudge and gain the grudge afterwards. If targeted ally is killed, gain more of the grudge. And aside from that, if target's blunt resistance is below normal, treat it as normal. Inflicts burn and burn counts. Bleed and bleed counts. Blunt damage echo. And don't forget, since you have Levantine out, that is a That should also be a PS damage echo. All this to say, if you thought Ricardo was disgusting, this is easily going to be several times more disgusting. It's 5-30 and middle Otis can't kill Ishmael. But Otis just gets really bummed out. Her anime moment got snuffed out. Ayla now. 500 damage echoes, yeah. Depending on how much damage percent is on those echoes, it's really strong already. Depending on how much it can scale up. Like, even a 10% damage echo, because there's multiple of them, would already be considered really strong. If PM has completely given up on balance for this one specifically, well, yeah. Most of what I can say is, no, this is probably not exactly a magic bullet replacement in a burn team. However, in a team where burn isn't necessarily the focus, this is going to help out quite a bit once things get going. All that to say, all in on bullshit. Now, I don't remember where I necessarily heard this, so this is probably hearsay, but Outis apparently drags in some of the most money whenever an Outis ID comes out. Therefore, Project Moon is making a very smart business decision here by making this particular Outis ridiculously overloaded. No counter reuse, so it's bricked. Nah, it's still fine. Bricked, dead on release. Not gonna lie, people giving up on balance for this ID is fitting, but goddamn. Bricked, dead on release. Funds, please. It doesn't matter that the counter cannot be reused. It'll probably just specify that you can use the counter twice anyway. Like with any other IDs, like Bloody Sinclair. Sadly, there are other sinners who don't get the same treatment. Yeah, pretty much. Outis is like the big fan service target, basically. If it's an Outis ID, it is probably going to be very strong, very hyped up. I think there was one exception, that being the first Blood Fiend that we got. And that's probably it, really. Because even if you think back to the Udjat got hyped up quite a bit because it's a fucking Udjat. Gregor fans ate good recently, but are crying in the corner, yeah. Yeah, they are. But man, this is a lot. The big things to worry about, though, are the two engines. We've gone beyond IDs that have no engine. We've gone beyond IDs with one engine. It is now the norm for an ID to have two different engines. In this particular case, it's your funny middle grudge. Middle grudge and tattoos. Yeah, it's your middle grudge and tattoos, because for all of these, it's final power thanks to the tattoos. And then grudge gets consumed on skill 3, allowing you to get more, let's see. Allowing you to get more vengeance tattoos. And then there's Rising Fever. Also, Matthias is really popular, so either way, this ID is going to sell. I guess is, yeah. Matthias is stupid popular. Because, I know at least 2 people in my Discord server sitting around that are really obsessed with Matthias for some reason. I know one of them was Senti, I think, and then the other, do not recall off the top of my head. But yeah, there were multiple people that were really obsessed. But yeah, this is stupid. This is really stupid, man. Like, God. I need to breathe, man. I need to fucking breathe. Yeah, sure. Anyhow, this is the opportunity from the audience. Go ahead and ask questions. Because what the fuck? So many of these bonuses are just going to be really easy to get. And a lot of this is written a little strangely because quite a few of these sound like they're going to double stack, which is going to be a special kind of bullshit. Because here, middle vengeance tattoo, gain final power for base skills for every X stack. Also written middle vengeance tattoos. Gain final power for middle vengeance tattoos on self. If those just stack, that's just more final power. Is ridiculous grit temporary? Let's see. It looks like ridiculous grit is temporary because you can run out of it. So likely treat it more like Hohenheim's one, basically. So 3 pages is the maximum. We won't get multiple pages, but longer pages instead. Wait, did we not get a 4-pager for Rian? Because 1 page had to independently be... Hang on. Need to double check. Oh no, we only got 3 pages for Rian as well, yeah. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 for Rian, yeah. Wait, no, we should have gotten 4 for Rian. Hang on. Nope, 3, right, because all of the status effects are listed on the same. Also, you know what's funny? Every time someone sends something that sounds remotely like it's supposed to be in a different language into YouTube chat will try to auto-translate it. Mingo, instead of saying Rian is free, it said nothing is free. Simply because, yes, Rian means free. Also, here's one particularly dodgy thing that I found recently, which was just, for some reason a mate put up Saving Private Ryan during a party. And at some point they do make that funny joke of, oh, Rian? What a name to have. Rian means nothing. Prescript and Seal Sword status take up a lot of page. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, if you read over kits like these, it then starts feeling like even Ruiner stuff looks like a joke at this point. Mainly because Ruiner is very readable. You can understand why you fucked up in Ruiner. Here, it's not that you're not going to understand why you fucked up. It's more so you're not going to understand why you're doing that good. Is the problem. So it's just Christ. But yeah, it's going to be a bit funky because to get the most out of the funny good girl, your sacrifice for the family won't be forgotten, you need people to lose clashes. Because this activates on clash loss specifically. Yeah, you'll need allies to lose clashes. There aren't that many IDs out there that let's see, how long to get Levantine? The problem with how long to get Levantine is we don't know how many Rising Fever stacks are required. Because, okay, every time Rising Fever hits a certain amount, then we get to use Stamp of Vengeance. Stamp of Vengeance then unseals 1 level. We need to break the first seal, we need to break to the second seal, and then we need to break to Levantine. So 3 times. Because we need to be able to use time to unpack multiple times. to be able to get it, basically. Yeah, 4 or 5 turns is the norm these days for like big super moves. There is a decent chance that it's allowed to go even faster, but the middle is kind of one of those grind and beat the shit out of your enemy's team, rather. So it's a bit of a slower team. It doesn't go quite as fast as some other stuff out there. So yeah, we'll see. But far as I'm concerned, this is pure stupidity. There are many reasons why, but most of it is just the damage echoes. Now, if there's one thing I can say, there isn't quite as many damage ups as I thought there would be. Most of the damage ups seem to be relegated to the passives instead. Or the passives and buffs instead. Since that's all in Sealed Sword, First Seal, Second Seal, Levantine, but less so in the actual individual skills. It's also a bit funky because I don't think there is an AoE here. Yeah. Why does it specify that Kiramel takes more damage on the field? Does it imply she can use skill 3-4 on other units? Yes. Yes. You should realize that, yes, she can friendly fire other people. Because it simply says, when an ally. Not when the House of Spiders middle apprentice Ishmael. It's when an ally. And then it also has the specification if it kills an ally in the middle. And then also if it killed specifically the apprentice. Because if you specifically kill the apprentice, you get envy base skills doing more damage and base skills gaining final power. AoE only on friendly fire. Looks like AoE only on friendly fire. However, it seems to only be one enemy and an ally. That's the screaming part. That does seem like a PM thing to do, where Kiramel is the only character able to die. However, they are not the only person able to die. Everyone else gets to die alongside. So bringing this Outis along gives you an alternative avenue to getting other House of Spiders IDs killed, besides Ryoshu doing the job herself. Now, the only stipulation being that you want this Outis to kill Ishmael specifically, rather than Roshu to do the job. Anyhow, knowing what we know now, let us look back at the trailer again. So, 1 second here. Trailer should be this one.
Limbus Company. 딸, 오늘 한가하지? 해결사 영상. 그건 뭐 녹화해뒀다가 다음에 봐도 되잖아?
That's skill 1.
오늘 같이 할 게임은 그릭스 슈필이다. 엄마가 집행
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yep, that's skill 2. Wait, no. Huh. Wait, what? Hang on. Is that even just skill 2? 1, 2, 3. Fuck it, hit a 4th time, I guess. 5th time. That's just the skill 3, isn't it? Wait, no, that's not the skill 3. That's the skill 3-3. Just for the unseal. Yeah. What the fuck? 1, 2, 3. That's the skill 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Seal remove. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't even fucking know at this point, man. Yeah. That's the normal counter.
일찍 끝나겠어.
1, 2, 3.
딸내미
four.
부탁한 해결사 잡지랑 만화책은 챙겼고 아픈 딸내미한테 줄
And now unpack.
충분할 테고. 좋아할 모습이 벌써부터 눈에 선하.
Unpack to Levantine. Okay. That is so stupid. That is so many levels of stupid. Watching that back now. Hang on, because yeah, Stamp of Vengeance is just... you just do some kicks. Wait, that's it. Stamp of Vengeance looks like the most lame skill out of the entire selection. That is funny. That is really funny. And then, yeah, you get your praise buffs. Free. So that's Levantine revealed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. That's skill 2. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah. That is... yeah, that's the Levantine skill. Let's see. Oh, Frey wouldn't stop yapping, so you came over here. Thanks for not wasting your time in notes. Just want to review over the kit. The general gist I can tell you is she is probably going to be really busted depending on one specific thing. That specific thing is just going to be here. It's the Rising Fever thing. The only problem is compared to the rest of the house, it doesn't seem like she has a single AoE skill. Because she doesn't get any damage bonus based on excess attack weights. However, at the same time, that's not like the surefire indicator that she doesn't, she just may. But yeah, aside from that, Ishmael here loses a clash. Oh. Oh, it's an instant follow-up. Okay.
이런 기믹은 좀 치사하지 않나? 지금은 바쁘니 장부에만 적어두지.
Okay, if it's an instant follow-up after Clash lose, that's a lot better. The only problem is you're only really going to lose that many clashes against like a boss. So a good chunk of the time it is not going to matter quite as much. You won't be able to get a free stagger off is what I'm saying. Looking at the bright side of this, enemies don't get the SP for killing your allies. Pretty much, yes, if you manage to execute your ally in the same attack. It all depends on just how much power this thing gets. I reckon that if this goes over 20 power, this would be considered pretty busted. Basically. Because even Roshu's freebie is like 19 tops. If this gets to like 20 or 22, that's insane. Basically. Compared to Roshu, though, she doesn't exactly deal... yeah, she doesn't necessarily do fixed damage. It is reliable damage, though, so she won't completely slime someone out with true damage. It only activates at max Levantine anyway, so it's at max ramp Outis, yeah. Pretty much. Because you'll have your maxed out Vengeance tattoos as well. Or you should have your maxed out Vengeance tattoos. Let me double check. Because I know there was a way of losing certain things. Let's say blah, 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 alongside. Check this out, kiddo. Does not gain it from blah, blah, blah. Nope, that wasn't what I was looking for. Avenging my family. Nope, that isn't it. Let's see. Grants an additional, gain, blah, blah, blah. Oh, never mind. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I was thinking of something else entirely. That would just be Rising Fever instead, I'm guessing. But yeah, the main things we need to worry about. Rising Fever bullshits. Into Middle Grudge. Stack Middle Grudge. Consume Middle Grudge. To then get Vengeance Tattoo. Use Vengeance Tattoo to get more final power. which then plays back into unbreakable coins. Power back the Rising Fever so that we can keep unpacking. And let's see. While this unit has Sealed Sword at less than X% HP, use time to unpack regardless of Rising Fever stack. Now this is going to be really funny because of the start of the Lei Heng fight, basically. Because the start of the Lei Heng fight, if she gets targeted and then just slams into the guy, or gets the guy to slam into him, she gets a free first seal, basically. First seal, but you're probably going to trigger ridiculous grit at the same time. What buff does Outis give Roshu when killed? Okay, the specific buff is, first off, you get your entanglements. Second off, it's take less damage. So she's now becoming even tankier. Remember, currently Roshu gets quite a lot of damage reduction as it is against unopposed attacks alongside just in general. It's really stupid. And then after that, it's an offense level up after you get hit. We may border closer to 50% damage reduction, if that's what you're wondering. Because through Nursefather deaths, we are now at 22.5%, thanks to whatever the string passive was. You read enough to understand a bit, but she has 3 seals, yes. Starts with Sealed Sword, goes to first seal removed, goes to second seal removed, finally goes to Levantine. Therefore, you need to use Unpack 3 times. This is MD numbers? Not yet, not yet. MD numbers is when you are able to revive multiple times. But yes, depending on how hard it is to reduce Rising Fever, that will determine how many turns it'll take at the fastest to get time to unpacks and eventually go into Levantine. But pretty much you're playing with almost pure envy, basically. Yeah, pretty much pure envy. Let's see, at sum of X plus or X envy, a resin lose stack at end of turn. So she becomes particularly effective in a middle team. Very, very effective in a middle team, if nothing else. She'll be able to likely get her gimmick off exceedingly fast compared to like House of Spiders team. House of Spiders team, you're not going to be able to get the NVA res quite as easily. Definitely, you're not going to be able to. It all depends on whether... So this line is the one I'm probably the most concerned with. When each seal is removed from the sword, gain Rising Fever corresponding to the unsealing stage. The problem with that being, how does the amount of Rising Fever increase or does it decrease? If it increases, then that means it'll be harder to get her Levantine out, and it may take maybe 6 or beyond turns. If it is lowered each time, then it's just going to be faster, and it's going to be stupid good. As for how we get our time to unpack the first time, that is a good question. Because I don't think it states that we start with Rising Fever, do we? At X plus Rising Fever stack, use time to unpack. As an unopposed attack at skill end. While this unit has Sealed Sword at less than X% HP, use time to unpack regardless of Fever stack. Okay. So the way I'm seeing this is if this number here says less than 100% HP, use time to unpack, then we know exactly how you unpack the first seal, basically. It means you get hit. if you get hit at all, unpack the first seal. And the easiest way to do that is just going to be to use the counter. That is my bet on how that works. Because there's no specification here that says enter encounter with rising fever. Oh, thank you. I will get to that soon. Let's see. Right, fever, it's 1, 2, 3. 1 for stamp, 1 for envy res. Potentially, yes. All perks need to have some insanely good IDs to compete at this point. I'm at the point where I would not be surprised if they straight up just give us the red mist. At this point, I would not be surprised. I would be surprised if they gave us the purple tier though. But yeah, we're at that point where the red mist is not out of the question. At least the version that we get in Ruiner, because that version isn't like turbo ridiculous overpowered. It's just Kali during a very specific part of her life, basically. One passive, strongest. Yeah. First, hang on. Tiff. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see if we go over to Keep Ages. The red mist. Because I would not be surprised if we get something on this level. I would not be particularly surprised. Where, okay, yeah, she's got ego, yeah, you've got someone who can activate ego, blah, blah, blah. And you get to bullshit. You get your bullshit of strongest, Gebura bullshit, etc. Yep. Would not be surprised if that's what we end up with, necessarily. What about giving us Distorted Yan because this season is about syndicates? Could be. They could even give us the FUM guys and we could have an entire FUM team all of a sudden. And that'd be really cool. Reverberation Ensemble Wall PP with Tanya and Eileen. Just notice, Outis gives burn to everyone. Yes, she does. Wouldn't she slowly kill the middle team since they don't have good... Spear. This is where I break your bubble. The middle team... Okay. They don't necessarily have good healing on their own, so to speak. However, the envy stuff that does exist that you can supplement in is indeed very good. So, in a team of 7... you will still want to take a Rodya, for example. Rodya still has the funny bear ego, and that is your healing, pretty much. Hex now into control, and I'll go for scissors. Yes, I'll go for scissors is also the big one. Because yes, this is premium healing at this point. Look over here, Chief. Look over here, Drifting Spear. Heal 2 allies with the lowest HP percentage. And it specifically targets allies with envy base attack skills. So yeah, there is indeed healing options. Last Library of Ruiner while Purgus was optional reception, so I hope we get some main story this time. And we did pretty much skip clean over Gebura, so it is inevitably going to be the red mist, if not something surrounding the red mist. Because let's see. Gebura, missions, Ruiner. Let me see if I can find the exact things. Floor of language. Right, floor of language. Because we need specific books to get the floor of language up. let's see. Sweepers, She Association, Proselytes, Smiling Faces, Blue Reverberation, the Red Mist book specifically. Yeah. So there are options. Yeah, there are options. Though there aren't too many options outside of, well, Geb herself, basically. Are we not still in Urban Nightmare, though? Or Plague? We're in Sotsi. Funds, we are far into Star of the City already. Or we're at least at the beginning of. Isn't next 12 PP Bina's floor? The thing is, it depends on the order you consider things. If you consider Chesed as last, then yes. Otherwise, because we did general receptions, then Gebera could potentially be next. If it's Bina's floor, we'd have to be clean into Impuritus at this point, basically, is what I'd say. Because a lot of Bina's stuff does need you to have Impuritus stuff to even do so. Bina next announcer. Yeah, Bina could be next announcer. Would not be surprised. Anyhow, bear with me. My food is going cold next to me. Just ask some questions. I'll answer with whatever when I've got in between, well, sipping Shin Ramyun. And hopefully this Shin Ramyun isn't about to kill me. So, yeah. Giving us a heavily nerfed Red Mist would still be too... Nah, wouldn't be too much. If you've played Ruiner, you would know, basically. Let's see. It's a packet of Shin Ramyun with a poached egg and some green onion sprinkled on top. The thing is, we're already at the start of Star of the City. Start of Star of the City, you can already get Alan. You can already get Pum Soldatos. Lei Heng is easily over there. Eventually in Star of the City, you can get your Ujuts, etc, etc. We are clean there already. It'll be a pretty big cop-out if we either get the Lu or R-Corp because they're already in the game. Do you roll for Archer or save for Rin and Gilgamesh? Save for Rin. How about we just get She IDs to make She Force useful? You'd be asking for a She director, basically. Ah. That should be okay. How about we get a modern 7 ID? If we got a modern 7 ID, the only one would just be Dante. And if we wanted specifically an R-Corp, you'd be looking at Nikolai. Dishi's a no. It didn't show up in Ruiner. Edgar ID when? Oh, you want your ridiculous Zwei man. Zwei dog man who throws hands basically. Kane Office. Kane Office would be a very good pick. I'd actually enjoy Kane Office probably. The only problem is Kane Office is Kane Office is pretty much, how does one put it? Charged though. That's the only main issue. Can we get Philip again? Hell no. Please no. Can't wait for dude, we're literally in Sotsi now, but then we get smiling faces. The only problem with smiling faces is it's a ridiculously steep slope to give, because then you have to give smoke. And smiling faces with smoke is 200% extra damage. Because they have their funny puffy broom. Rhino Greg, Alamau. What is my favorite PM track? Okay, that one's a bit hard. That one's a bit hard to answer. Hang on. Let me... There's either Lobcorp's neutral one, or the... or the newest Twining Threads theme. If we get an Urban Nightmare reception idea, you're gonna laugh. I think the only one they'd probably allow at this point is probably the She Association. Anything short of the She, and it's a little funky. Because let's see, for specific songs that I do enjoy, everyone knows what the Lobcorp one sounds like. Otherwise, this is probably my favorite track in PM stuff currently. I think we won't get anything Aleph before the end of Inferno. We'll see. If we end up getting a Hokma one, there is decent odds there's White Knight coming. I wouldn't exactly put it beyond Muso's Kanto to give him the first Aleph. This one is Savagery. Hey, do you want a nuclear bomb? Nods, nods, basically. As most of the player base at this point, they want one. Apologies if the model has been looking a bit weirdly at you guys every time I lean down for noodles, but yeah. But now, all that to say, it'll be sad if they only give an ego for LPP. They know better than to only give an ego. Well, at this point, they should know better. The thing is, you'd be able to see an Arknight's Bokgak inside of Arknights, I reckon. Because Arknights and Hypergriff does like rerunning their own collabs. You unfortunately cannot say the same for Limbus currently. I'll drink the rest of that soup once the stream's over. At that point, we just need a color fixer ID. Vespa's your best bet, honestly. If we get Vespa Muso, that would actually be genuinely funny. But anyhow, been a bit over 2 hours for the stream. I am going to finish this day in LobCorp. We are done talking about this monster that is Outis. We will finish this day in LobCorp. Despite, well, the ongoing issues. Hopefully the ongoing issues are solved, basically. And if you have any more questions to ask, yeah, go ahead. Feel free. Want there to be a section in the story where Virgilius comments on the ID, Lamau. I mean, it depends on who gets it, basically. What are my predictions on Musou's BP ego? That one's a bit difficult because you need to think of the stuff that we haven't gotten yet. And I reckon it may just be something entirely new, even. Oh, no, you don't. Do not make more bees. There are already enough fucking bees around. We've had enough of your bullshit. Have we suppressed all the bees? No, there's still a bee. Okay, Kaya, do not keep shooting magic bullets at people. Okay, are we done yet? We are not done yet. There are still more bees. Okay. We're done with these motherfucking bees. Let us just get this day done with. Get this day done with. I can end stream in peace. Rather than in pieces. And we'll be good to go. Perhaps one of the birds. I don't think they'll be willing to hand out just a. I don't think they'll be willing to necessarily hand out one of those. At least not for a battle pass. I think you'll have to roll for those. Genuinely, you'll probably have to roll for them, and it's going to be like a triple banner. Some asinine triple ego banner. It's not beyond what we've had before. We have had a triple ego banner before. Unfortunately, the triple ego banner was also a limited banner. Say hello once again to the fucking Arknights banner. Great time, isn't it? Personal favorite sinner. Ishmael. Probably still just Ishmael. It's a bit unfortunate that the source material isn't necessarily done justice. However, the Ishmael that we do have is good. Funniest part is that the Arknight's egos weren't too bad. The Arknight's egos weren't too bad if you already had every bloody ego. Glad you got all of them. I think I had to pay up in the end to get all of them, yeah. Punishing Bird has escaped. That is fine. Need to find out what the cleave-off counter for this thing is. High insight, though, should really help out. But yes, we've exterminated the bees. The bees are not as big a problem as I thought they would be. Do wish they made ego collaborate. Like you use the free bird egos one turn and corrode into an apocalypse bird. I wouldn't put it beyond them, at the very least. You started playing the day the banner ended. Oh, that's rough, buddy. I'd say the one that was a must-have is probably Unbrilliant Glory. To remain oneself and Command Meltdown aren't too bad to not have. And then Title Elegy you do get just by playing the story, and that one's probably the next best one. Personal favorite Abno. I bet it's ETTH. What the fuck is ETTH? Considering that's my response to that, I'm not sure that that would be the answer. How did Destiny 2 and Limbus call? Destiny is dead, say hi. And mismanagement killed it. You and I both know this. Maybe I'll do a video on Destiny just as it closes out, you know. Last hurrah for those other Guardians out there. Express Train to Hell. No, Express Train to Hell is not indeed my favorite. Express Train to Hell is indeed one of my least favorites. Because I have to think about favorite Abnos. It's probably the Bird Trio, honestly. Very basic bitch taste, yes. Probably the Bird Trio. If not the Bird Trio, then need to think a bit harder on that. This is likely one that's at least showed up in Ruiner instead. There are definitely Abnos that have grown on me over time though. Like, for example, Faint Aroma. Faint Aroma has grown on me over time. You can blame Yoshu for that easily. Several moments, in fact, yes. 4 moments of peak until becoming trash. Yes, indeed. Mr. Magic. Fuck you, King. God damn it. What about You Are Bold? You are bold. So, okay. Let me put this simply. You Are Bold and Sleepy are 2 people or 2 things that should not have interacted at any one point. Unfortunately, Sleepy ended up having to touch You Are Bold. This has since resulted in me seeing my OCs put in a blender. So if that tells you anything, then yeah. I almost for a second thought I had Singing Machine. I almost thought for a moment I had Harmony there. Almost. Because in one of my previous runs, I did have Harmony sitting in that exact spot. So that's kind of creepy that it decided to do that. A funny button. So that no one will cry. Oh, huh. Okay, good result. Good. That's, ew. Still not a fan of how that looks. Let's see. Well, blah, 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 blah. Work result was normal, lowered. Okay. And cleave off counter is 2. Okay. We have 2 chances to Why do you just tick down to 1? In theory, if PM were to ever release the birds as egos, they should make it use AP bird for the 3 chosen sinners to be on the field. I guess so, yeah. You looked at the queen. Wait, what? I'm trying to remember back to the Hornet scripts that I wrote, and I'm like, wait, was that actually a managerial guideline? That you can't look at the fucker? Bro. Stare too long and bullshit. Great. Fuck it. If we get more spores again, those two can probably live through it. It's not like they're new clerks. The clerks are already dead. Also, it's sweepers next. Fuck it, we bowl, yes. Yes, indeed. Fuck it, we bowl. I'm pretty sure most of my guys can take on sweepers, except maybe John Welchers. John Welchers may have a bit of trouble. Okay. Time to refresh my memory. When the work result was bad, lowered with high probability. When it reached 0, red spores. Upon observing the abnormality, it was confirmed that the spores attached to employees for a certain amount of time and inflicted red damage over blah blah blah. In addition, could not be healed by regenerators or bullets. Okay, so we just put a shield on them. A giant drone burst out of the body, indiscriminately attacked nearby employees. Okay. Wait, so why did the cleave-off counter lower? There's nothing there which says cleave-off problems. Nothing there that says cleave-off problems if... I don't get it. I think we just got randomly fucked over at that point. Alright, sweeper time. Do you enjoy the sweepers? I don't really enjoy the sweepers. However, they die pretty easily, thankfully. Lobcorp, it's probably some... Yeah, it probably is. No sweepers downstairs. There are sweepers upstairs, though. Yeah, there's quite a few sweepers around. Yeah, it should be fun. Articus, you may want to back off. Actually, Articus. Go heal. Wait, what? Oh. I am sorry, King. I don't think I'm restarting the day for you. You got turned into sweeper goop. Was a good run. Yeah, was a good run, King. Always bet on Eco. Oi. No, you do not want to always bet on me. If you know how much of a bad luck charm I've been at the casino, you do not want to bet on me. Never mind, I'm a bad luck charm to the casino, not a bad luck charm for the people. Yep. Reminder, do not drink the sweeper goop. Do not drink the sweeper goop. At least it is exceedingly not recommended to drink the sweeper goop. Also, your death was caused by Kaya, King. So if you ever see a guy come into chat named Kaya Naya, yeah, it's their fault. But yes, we will let it ride. Okay, where's the last sweeper then? Fighting noises somewhere. Oh, there's two more sweepers. Okay, they were in the elevator. So when do you unlock the sweeper noon? That is a good question. Not entirely sure, but I know Tifaref mentions it at some point, kinda. But yep, we've had one casualty. Their name is King. I'm sorry, King. But the facility will go on. Going in the Book of Vengeance, Sailor Mal. Can I make Bad Tom after this day? I'm likely ending stream after this day. I will likely be streaming LobCorp later in the week. However, this week is also pretty stacked with Limbus stuff considering the Railway is also coming out. Thursday is going to be pretty cancerous for me because I need to write the ID guide. Well, I need to record the ID guide at the same time as doing the Railway. That's going to be the particularly troublesome part, at least. Wow, look at that. Some familiar looking gear, isn't it? Hornet gun, Hornet armor, or Hornet suit. It's pretty good stuff outside of hail damage. Oh good, you always enjoy your cooking. By the way, I think you can find a cook better in Limbus. Ayla now. Cooking in Limbus isn't too bad, most of the time. Especially these days when a lot of stuff is more thematic. Where as long as you slam the same stuff from the same faction together, it'll work. I can't say the same about the older stuff, wherein, oh, if you slammed all the 7s together, you wouldn't necessarily get a functioning Rupture team. You'd get a questionable Rupture team, so to speak. Punishing Bird has gotten out. That is fine. Come to think of it, I've never used the YouTube redirect feature. The one where you can just send your audience off to someone else. So maybe I'll try that out after this stream's finished. This is the same as like Twitch rating. I've used Twitch rating a lot. I've never touched the YouTube version though. So who else is currently live in terms of PM creators? Frey is probably guaranteed live. I don't know if they accept raids to begin with. I'm pretty sure it's an opt-in feature as well. Esku was, yeah. Esku being live doesn't surprise me, necessarily. I'm pretty sure they even tweeted out they were going live. Don't know if he's still up. Probably still up. I'll double check who even has the option to do so later on, but yeah. I think we can trigger... Yeah, we'll have to trigger the meltdown regardless. Yeah, we're like we're one work short. Okay. Literally anything can melt down and I would not give a shit. Okay, there may be shits to give. Kaya hasn't touched the bear today. Needs someone to come downstairs and handle some inside work. Yeah, sure. Fuck. Okay, never mind. I need you to handle attachment work up here. Which means I'm going to need someone else entirely to come down here. Say hi, I guess. And on the other side, Sleepy needs to handle the boldness. Also, Kamui Ever as well, but I already don't watch him anymore. You see, I pinged Kamui this morning over a certain event that I'd have to do in the future. I got turned down by Kamui, so a bit awkward if I raid into Kamui today, basically. But nah, that's just because a local con was like, oh, yeah, you wanted to do a panel for Project Moon? Yeah, sure, we'll let you do a panel. Kamui also being in, well, the same country, fired a shot. Or fired a flare. Flare was unfortunately a no. They just don't do that kind of stuff. Right, oh, for Smash?
Yeah.
Saw. No idea. Anyway, the workday is complete. Since we're likely resetting this set of days again and again and again, we will just conclude that there. I'm sorry, King, for your unfortunate death by magic bullet. It was entirely preventable. Exhausted, tired, want rest, hungry, want out. Christ. I don't remember the exact Korean for that. Or, because even then I also played in the Japanese as well, more recently. Okay, for anyone who is still around, I believe you get to pick an Abno. Let's just first make sure that LobCorp didn't just memory leak on me. I think it memory leaked on me, but yeah. Okay. There is Funeral of Dead Butterflies, Big Bird, Parasite Tree, or the option to re-extract. Type number 1 if you want the funny butterfly man. Type number 2 if you want the funny big bird. Type number 3 if you want the parasite tree. And type number 4 if you want us to re-roll and pick some new options. One. Oh. So we've got one for the butterflies, 2 for the burb. This will be the last specific choice that we make today. Parasite tree said through gritted teeth. Chopper gang. So re-roll. Okay. We've got 1 for everything, and now we've got 2 for the bird. Why the bird? Why? Letter A. Oh, God. Let's go. Okay. Hang on. Let me first figure out how the hell I do this YouTube redirect thing. Edit settings, blah, blah, blah. Redirect. Okay. Who can I redirect to? Oh, God, there is a weirdly big list of people I can redirect to. That is weird. Okay, there's a lot of people recommended to redirect to even. Christ. Oh, Frey has their redirections open. Escu does not have their redirections open in comparison. So I guess you're going to Frey. After this thing is done. But yeah. Going once, going twice. Big burb. Believe we've already been through all of this dialogue, but I don't know if it'll jump scare me with being a dialogue at some point. It didn't, thankfully. No existential Beano dialogue today. Because there was way too much of it yesterday. A he, a wow, and a wow. Suppress the core of Gebura. Suppress the core of Chesed. Both of those seem nightmarish to be doing. But yeah, that is where we'll be concluding for today. Let me just slam the floor for a bit and then pass you over to Frey, I guess.